On the 22nd of April 2018, this image was posted on a 4chan thread for cursed images. This was the name of the image file. It had a resolution of 640 by 480 and a total file size of 59 kilobytes. And roughly a year later, on the 12th of May 2019, a different anonymous user on 4chan started a thread asking people to post disquieting images that felt off. And right next to that was this image again. Now this was the exact same image from the 2018 thread, seeing as how the title, the resolution, the file size, everything is exactly the same. So here's how this image led to the creation of the backrooms. So under this thread, where this guy asked people to post disquieting images, someone said, quoting this image, "What is that?" And as they replied to this user, a different anonymous user replied with the following: "If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old, moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell heard you." And this anonymous 4chan user who wrote this up created the backrooms. So obviously the identity of the person who created the backrooms is unknown, and it will almost definitely never be known. And also, side note, on this very same thread, the image used for level 188 was also uploaded. So yeah, that might be something of interest to you. But anyways, let's move on. But the backrooms creepypasta, which is what it was at this point, a creepypasta, didn't really blow up until a different anonymous user put this image and this reply together to form a single image. And this image was reposted pretty much everywhere and even became a meme of sorts. And also, as for the origins of this image, well, many have tried to find out where it came from, but so far, none have been successful. There could be several reasons for that, but one of the popular reasons is that this image is not a picture of a real place, but instead a computer-generated image, created in Blender maybe. But it's also possible that maybe it was an image downloaded from Flickr. Flickr, in case you don't know, was the Instagram of the mid-2000s. But if it did come from Flickr, there is a small possibility that Flickr has deleted the image from its database. But anyways, point is, no one knows where the image came from. And some say that's a good thing because it adds to the mystique of the backrooms. But anyways, after the backrooms creepypasta gained its initial following in 2019, people have since expanded on it, heavily. Some people were fans of this, others were not. So as part of this expansion, people actually started creating their own version of the backrooms, calling them different levels to the backrooms. And this led to the first level, the one that was mentioned in the initial creepypasta, being named Level 0, aka the lobby. And also an expanded version of this level was created on the Backrooms wiki page. Now it's important to note that there are two different Backrooms wiki pages, the Backrooms Phantom wiki and the Backrooms wiki.page. Both of these wikis contain different backrooms levels, and while the interpretation of certain levels are similar in both the wikis, some are quite different. And in the case of Level 0, it's quite similar, with a few changes here and there. And to explain these changes, I will now go over the Level 0 interpretation on the Phantom and wiki.pages. So on the Backrooms Phantom wiki, Level 0 is also known as the lobby. And the following is how the level is described on the Phantom page. So Level 0 of the Backrooms is a safe, unsecure level devoid of entities, meaning there are no dangerous creatures running around on the level. But anyways, let's move on to the appearance of the level. So apparently the entirety of Level 0 resembles the back rooms of a retail outlet. All the rooms, halls, and everything on Level 0 have the same exact yellow wallpaper and the same disgusting carpet. Also, the carpet on Level 0 is apparently always soaked in some kind of liquid, which is not water. They don't know what it is, but it's soaking the carpet on this level. So yeah, it's a disgusting carpet. Anyways, fluorescent lights can be seen all over Level 0. And what's strange about these lights is that they create an unusually loud buzzing noise, which has been described to be very annoying. And finally, electrical outlets can also be seen all over Level 0. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the appearance of Level 0. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention is that none of the rooms inside Level 0 are identical. They might look similar, but none of them are identical. But anyways, with all that being said, now let's move on to some of the other properties of Level 0. So, exploring the level is said to be extremely hard. And the main reason for this is that Level 0 doesn't really follow the laws of reality or physics or anything. Apparently, one could walk in a straight line on Level 0 and end up right where they started. So that's how crazy it is inside Level 0. And in addition to this, since most of level 0 looks pretty much the same, it's said to be extremely difficult to navigate the place, especially since GPS and other equipments are completely useless in the back rooms. Also, in case you're wondering who's doing all this navigation and exploring of these levels, it's an institution called the MEG, or the Major Explorers Group. They're basically the SCP Foundation of the back rooms. They explore different levels, study the entities, and so on. So yeah, they're the ones collecting all this information on the back rooms. So anyways, moving on, like I said in the beginning, according to the Phantom Wiki, level 0 is devoid of entities, and as a result, people who got lost in level 0 are presumed to have lost their lives due to dehydration and starvation, as opposed to being hunted down by some kind of an entity, because even if the entities do exist inside this level, they are exceedingly rare. And now, let's move on to the entrances and exits to level 0. Starting with the entrances. So there are two ways one could enter level 0. One is by no-clipping through normal reality, and also no-clipping through different levels of the backrooms can also lead one to level 0. And now moving on to exit, there are 4 known ways of exiting level 0. Number 1, a variety of different factors which are not fully understood by the MEG can cause someone to just fade from level 0 into level 1. Level 1, in case you don't know, is an endless warehouse basically. The second exit is by no-clipping through the walls on level 0. This will transport whoever does so into level -1. Level -1 is an infinite hallway with doors on either side, which lead to different levels of the backrooms. Exit number 3, breaking through the floors of level 0, has a possibility of leading whoever did so into level 27. Level 27 is known as the Wooden Walls of Tortured Souls, so yeah, it's not really a nice place to be. And in addition to that, breaking through the floors of level 0 can also lead one to the Void, and the Void is basically an endless sea of infinite nothingness. So yeah, breaking through the floors of level 0 is a pretty bad idea. And finally, to escape level 0 through the 4th exit, all anyone needs to do is wander around level 0 long enough, and they might get transported to the Manila Room. The Manila Room is just a room, and the wallpaper in this room kinda resembles those in level 0. And with that, the Phantom version of level 0 reaches its end. And now let's go over the Wikidot version of level 0. So like I said before, there really are not a whole lot of differences between the Phantom and Wikidot version of level 0, but there are some minute changes and I will now go over them. So while the Phantom version of level 0 describes the level as being safe, unsecure, and having no entities, the Wikidot version of level 0 is described to be safe, secure, with minimal entity count. So according to the Wikidot version of level 0, there are a few entities on this level. And the next major change really isn't a change, but the Wikidot version does expand a bit on how people end up losing their lives on level 0. So according to the Phantom version of level 0, people usually lose their lives on level 0 due to dehydration, and the Wikidot version expands on that and says these deaths are presumed and none of the bodies have ever really been found on level 0. This could be because there are entities on this level in the Wikidot version, so maybe the corpses have not been discovered because the entities actually took them somewhere. Or maybe the entities are the reason why those people lost their lives. And also, the Wikidot version goes on to say that if a group of people were to enter level 0 all at once, they will be separated upon entry. So it's a lonely place basically. The Wikidot also goes on to describe some of the common hallucinations that people experience inside level 0, and I will now read them for you. Humming from the lighting increasing to a deafening volume, then abruptly silencing. The appearance of doors. The appearance of stairs. Acute deja vu. Human-like speech resembling no known language. That could be an entity causing that. Movement in peripheral vision resembling insects crawling underneath the wallpaper, which disappears when the wall is observed directly. And finally, insect-like chittering. So apparently people have been known to lose their marbles inside level 0. And it also says that these carbon dioxide levels in level 0 are also slowly rising ever since they began exploring the place, and the reason for this is unknown. And now let's move on to the Wikidot version of entrances and exits to level 0. So similar to the Phantom Wiki, there are also 2 ways of entering level 0 according to the Wikidot page. Number 1 is no-clipping through reality, and the second entrance is through level 282. Apparently there is a fortress on this level which contains a wooden door that smells of mold, and if someone were to enter this door, that will lead them to level 0. There are only 2 known exits in the Wikidot version of level 0. Exit number 1 is no-clipping through level 0 to level 1, and exit number 2 is going to the Manila Room. And the entrance to the Manila Room is similar here as it was in the Phantom version of level 0. So all anyone has to do basically to enter the Manila Room is to walk around level 0 for a really long time, and eventually they'll just clip into the Manila Room. But apparently it's pointless to go there because the Manila Room is a dead end, it's just a room. So the only real way forward from level 0, according to the Wikidot version of level 0, is by no-clipping into level 1. So yeah, that was the 2 different versions of the level which created all the other levels. And also, the Backrooms is entirely a work of fiction. It is not real, because some people seem to think it's real. It's not real. Anyways, goodbye, and stay hydrated.